Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. Today is Wednesday, June 26th, and I'm bringing 7 plays to the plate for tonight's slate of games. We're going to be looking at the Guardians going up against the Baltimore Orioles. Both of those teams have been hot this season. We are also going to be looking at the best play of the day, another look at the Rockies going up against the Houston Astros. I'll have 5 total player props with 2 game picks, and the 2 best player props will be at the end of the video like always. If you guys would please, though, before you go any further, drop a like on the video, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel as we work our way towards 12,000 subs on this channel. Every like matters, every sub matters, all of you guys matter, and I appreciate the continued support on this channel as always. All right, guys, let's break down some ball. All right, guys, let's take a look at this graphic for Tuesday night. It is about 5:20 p.m. Central Time, so none of these games have started yet. We're just going to break these games down really quick. Phillies team total over 4.5. It is 4. I took it plus 130 at 4.5 going up against the Tigers. Think that one's going to hit. And we have Tyler Anderson under 2.5 runs going up against the Athletics. Shohei Ohtani, it came out over 2.5 bases at plus 110 against the Chicago White Sox. I kind of assumed it would, but I was hoping we get lucky with 1.5 bases in that game. We've got the Rockies and the Astros over 8 runs, and that one still seems extremely too low. I think that one's going to hit double digits. We have Ryan McMahon over 0.5 bases. If you took minus 165, but over 1.5 bases came out at plus 120, so I took the over 1.5 bases. Then Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases going up against the Colorado Rockies as well. Those are the plays for Tuesday night. Let's take a look at the updated leaderboard for Monday night. Pretty decent day. Got a win on the game pick. Split on the player props with Jose Ramirez. So 11-4 player props, 7-2 game picks over the last 7, 18-6 overall, but we're still looking for that sweep. We haven't had one in a couple days, so I'm thinking this is going to be the sweep, and we are going to start with the Cleveland Guardians going up against the Baltimore Orioles. The Guardians, they've been red hot. They have won 5 consecutive games, not counting Tuesday night because I haven't watched the game, and the Orioles, they've been hot for most of the season, but they're slowing down a little bit over the last 5. I think the Orioles are going to put up a lot of runs in this game going up against Carlos Carrasco, so I want to play him here minus 1.5 as the play. I also like their team total over if you're interested in that. But I think they're going to win this game by multiple runs. So I'm just going to stick with the minus 1.5 on the run line. We are going to start with Carlos Carrasco because he's coming into this game with some piss-poor numbers. This has been a guy who has struggled severely over the last 2 seasons. Last year with the New York Mets and this year with the Guardians, his ERA has not dropped below 5. He's coming out of this game with a 5.40 ERA, giving up 13 runs over the last 4 games to some of the worst teams in baseball. He's faced off against the Blue Jays twice, the Miami Marlins, and the Nationals once. And the Blue Jays and the Miami Marlins have been consistently some of the worst hitting teams this season. I'm not going to say that the Nationals are a bad team because they're my team, but the numbers, they're not very good for them. But you'll never catch me saying the Nationals are bad. In those games, though, Carlos Carrasco, he gave up 5+ runs to the Nationals and the Blue Jays in one of those games. He also gave up 6+ in 2 of those 4 games as well against the Blue Jays and the Nationals. So that's been a big problem for him all season long, giving up too many hits, giving up too many runs, and he's also been giving up too many home runs over the last couple of games. He's had a lot of trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark, giving up double-digit home runs this season in just 13 games. The Orioles, they love to hit home runs, and they have a ton of power in that lineup. So I do expect them to get a couple people on base in this one and just bring them home with their power they have. I like them to put up a lot of runs on Carlos Carrasco. And on the other side, Grayson Rodriguez, he's been really good lately for the Orioles. Whenever he's on the mound, the Orioles, they tend to find a way to win. They only have 3 total losses this season. Whenever he's on the bump, he does have a record of 8 wins and 3 losses, but I think people are going to be a little bit scared off because he's coming off of his worst performance of the season by far going up against the Astros. We are getting a pretty favorable line in this game because of his poor start in the last game, but if you take a step back and you look at the numbers over the last 5 or 6, he's been very good for them. He's given up 2 runs or less in 6 of the last 7 games before that Astros game, and he's also been able to go 5+ innings in every single one of those games, giving the bullpen a much-needed good start every single game. I like him in this one to be very competitive going up against the Guardians. I think he's in store for a bounce-back start after that Astros game. So I'm going to take the O's here, minus 1.5 to tattoo Carlos Carrasco as the play there. For the player props on the screen, we're going to be playing both of these. Jose Ramirez and Gunnar Henderson, both stud players. Jose Ramirez, he came through for us on the batting prop over 1.5 bases Monday night. So I'm going to start with him going up against Grayson Rodriguez. Jose Ramirez, he's been dialed in. He's collected 2+ hits in 4 of the last 7 games. His batting average is still below 300 on the season. He's hitting 276. But we saw some power in the last game. He hit a home run, and we're going to see power in this game again because I think he's going to hit another home run in this one. Hopefully it is a solo shot, but he has 14 of his 20 home runs this season against right-handed pitching with 23 extra base hits as well against righties. He's a switch hitter, so he's going to get the advantage of having to pick his side in this one as well. And if I was to say anything bad about Grayson Rodriguez, it is he's been giving up a few too many home runs. He's given up 6 home runs against righties this season. It's not a whole lot, but with the way he's been pitching this year, that would be his worst stat in my opinion. I like Jose Ramirez to get a hold of one in this game, so I'm going to take him over 1.5 bases there. On the other side, it's going to be Gunnar Henderson, who's getting the left against right matchup. I expect this one to be over in the first swing of the bat. Carlos Carrasco this season against lefties, he's giving up a batting average of 280. He's given up nearly the same amount of extra base hits on either side of the plate. And Henderson's coming in as a lefty, absolutely crushing right-handed hitters. He's the second best batter this season against righties other than Aaron Judge. He has 33 extra base hits against right-handed pitching, 60 total hits, having a batting average of 282 with 20 home runs this year against righties. I'm going to probably sprinkle in a home run parlay here with these two, Jose Ramirez and Gunnar Henderson, to both hit a home run. I will be taking them as well, though, over 1.5 bases as the two graphic plays for today. Let's move on to the best play of the day. We're going to be breaking down the Astros and the Rockies once again today because I absolutely love the pitching matchup once again today. Both of these teams, they've got some real duds in their starting rotation. We're going to get Ryan Felter for the Rockies going up against Spencer for the Astros. Both of these guys are coming into this game giving up multiple runs over the last two games, having elevated ERAs and whips. We're going to start with the Rockies and Ryan Feltner because he's been a little bit worse over the last couple of games than Spencer. And that's also a pretty good thing because the Astros are the better hitting team in this one. I think they might hit the overall by themselves. Ryan's coming into this game with a 6.02 ERA, a 1.48 whip, giving up a total of 10 runs over the last two games. He's also given up 7+ hits in 4 of the last 5 games and a total of 23 runs over the last 5 games as well. He's coming off 2 games against the Pirates and the Dodgers, giving up 7+ hits in both of those games and getting absolutely rocked by both of those teams. He's going to struggle once again in this one going up against the Astros, who have been very good hitting the ball over the last 14 days. Now, on the other side with Spencer, his problem is not giving the Astros enough innings. He has been able to go 5 2/3 innings over the last 2 games, and he's also given up 10 runs over the last 2 games, just like Ryan. He is coming in with a 6.36 ERA and a 1.74 whip in his rookie season. Spencer, unlike Ryan, though, has been going up against teams that he should do well against, facing off against the Tigers, the White Sox over the last 2 games. He's given up 10 runs to those 2 teams. Spencer did have a couple games at the start of June that I thought maybe he would turn the season around, but after the last 2 games against these 2 bad teams, I think he's in a worse spot than he was in the start of June. Both of these guys are giving up way too many hits, way too many runs right now over the last couple games, and they both have a home run problem over the last couple games as well. This game should get ugly fast with these 2 on the mound. I'm taking the over as the best play of the day, over 8.5 as the play. For the player props, I'm just going to be playing one. It's going to be Jose Altuve over 1.5 bases going up against Ryan Feltner and the Rockies. Jose Altuve, over the last couple of games, he's been a little bit better, bringing his batting average to 299 on the season. I think he's going to get it above 300 going into this game. He's collected 3 multi-hit games over the last 5, and we did see the leadoff power he had against the Orioles on the 23rd. This is going to be a right against right matchup, but that's what I'm looking for in this game. I don't want him going up against lefties because he doesn't get a lot of extra base hits against lefties this season. He does, however, have 22 extra base hits against righties with a batting average of 288 and 10 home runs against the right side this season. I think we're in store for another leadoff home run for Jose Altuve in this game. I'm taking him over 1.5 bases as the play there. Let's go over to the best props of the day now. We're going to start with a guy I didn't think I'd be talking about. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., over 1.5 bases going up against the Red Sox. Typically, again, I wouldn't mess with anybody from the Blue Jays because they're such a bad hitting team this season. But Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he's collected 7 total hits in the last 4 games. He's collected 3 home runs over the last 4 games, showing his power as well, really for the first time all season long. He's going to be getting a matchup going up against Cutter Crawford, who early in the season I talked about maybe being a potential Cy Young candidate this season for a future bet. Good thing I didn't pull the trigger on that one because he's really struggling over the last 6 or 7 games. He's now coming in with a 3.59 ERA, giving up 3+ runs in 5 of the last 6 games. We aren't really worried about the runs in this game because we're just playing the player prop, but he has been giving up a lot of runs, and that's because he's been giving up a lot of hits, giving up 5+ hits in 7 of the last 9 games. This is going to be a right against right matchup for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but he hits righties much better than lefties. He has a batting average of 295 against the right side this season with 20 extra base hits, including 8 home runs. Against the left side, he only has a total of 12 hits and 3 extra base hits on the season. And Cutter Crawford this year, he also struggles more against righties, giving up a lot of his power numbers and giving up a batting average of 243 compared to 206 against lefties. I love Vladdy in this game, so I'm going to take him over 1.5 bases as the play here. For the pitching prop, we are going to be looking at Gavin Stone for the Los Angeles Dodgers to go under 2.5 runs going up against the White Sox. We're going to start with the Chicago White Sox as a team who are coming in as the worst franchise in the MLB this season, possibly the worst franchise we've seen in the MLB for the last several years. They are dead last in nearly every single category this season in baseball, including runs scored per game. And Gavin Stone is coming into this game with a pretty good ERA, 3.04 on the season with a 1.20 whip. He's had to go through a little bit of a gauntlet over the last 3 games going up against the Yankees, the Royals, and the Rockies in his last 3 starts. And he's been pretty good in all 3 of those games. He's given up a total of 7 runs, going 5+ innings in every single one of them. And he did struggle a little bit in these games because these are some pretty good hitting teams. But he was able to hold his own in these games, keeping his 5+ inning streak alive. He's now gone 5+ innings in 10 consecutive games. So if you're looking for total outs as a potential play, I would go for this one as well. Over his total outs, he's probably going to go 6+ innings in this one going up against the White Sox. Gavin Stone over the last 10 games has given up 2 runs or less in 8 of the 10. And in 6 of the games over the last 10, he's given up 1 run or less. I'd like him to continue pitching well going up against the worst team in baseball this season. Give me Gavin Stone here under 2.5 runs as the play. All right. Let's go over to the graphic recap. Ton of graphic plays today. We've got the O's minus 1.5 going up against the Guardians. We've got Jose Ramirez over 1.5 bases in the same game going up against the Orioles. Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 bases getting that matchup against Carlos Carrasco. And then Jose Altuve over 1.5 bases. The best play of the day is going to be between the Rockies and the Astros. We've got Ryan Felter, Spencer Rodriguez on the mound. Over 8.5 runs scored in that one. Dodgers versus White Sox. We're taking Gavin Stone under 2.5 runs allowed. He's been really good over the last 10 games. I'd like that to continue. And then Vladimir Guerrero Jr. over 1.5 bases, 7 hits over the last 4 games. Make it 9 hits over the last 5 games. He's going to get a couple knocks in this one going up against Cutter Crawford. Love the play there. Guys, that's going to do it for the MLB picks and props for Wednesday, June 26th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please share, drop a like on this video, and subscribe down below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.